just so we don't take
All right, so we're live now.
too long.
Okay, so I guess I'll do it unless you guys want to do it. Unless you guys want
Let's
to.
see. Yeah, it's recording. Great.
Sounds good.
Yes, but the first question talks about the poor performance that Progreso was having. What are the possible causes and options, elements, different points of view that we will discuss? And then, let's see. I think that when they started to have this kind of problems was when they opened the first store, or well, the first branch outside the North Carolina, right?
Yeah,
North Carolina or the first
North
store, Sears?
California.
Um, yeah, okay. It was based in California, right? In
Yeah.
Progreso.
San Jose.
They,
hmm
sorry, San Jose. And then
San Jose,
they
California.
opened, they tried to open another store in North Carolina, including Los Angeles and different cities, right?
No, so they had 9 stores in San Jose. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got this deal with Sears and Kmart, and they opened about
Okay.
50 stores more. I think in the same area. I don't know if it really mentioned that. I don't remember. And after they, um, after a while, they got another deal to open some other stores, and so they tried opening a store and it didn't work out. It went bad really quick. I think that's what I understood. I don't know if I'm. I think
Yeah.
that's what it said.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the question though?
Mm.
I'm still opening
So
this.
what are the possible causes of Progreso's poor sales performance?
Oh,
Like, why did
I
they?
think, well, I got that.
I think there was
Yes, the
a lot of
first,
causes.
well, yeah, one of my causes was the people themselves, because, of course, this kind of program was targeting certain stereotype of people. So I think that in California was like not the perfect market, but was a great market, and obviously uh, it was not the same amount, or it was kind of difficult to target this kind of customer. That was one of my first.
Yeah, I think well, they were targeting the same customers even in the different stores, but I think
Mm-hmm.
there was a big difference between a Sears and a Kmart. Uh, there's a big difference between
And the
those and
grocery,
an
right?
actual Mexican store,
Yeah,
a Mexican supermarket.
yeah, grocery store.
So the demographics of the people that walk into Sears or to a Kmart aren't necessarily the same kind of people that walk into a Kmart or into a Mexican store, right?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, Samuel, did you know the OXXO stores here in Mexico?
Oxxo.
Them? Yeah, they are like,
I grew up in Mexico. I've been here since
perfect,
February.
great. So
Oxxo, uh-huh.
I think of Kmart like one kind of these stores, like OXXOs.
No.
They are bigger.
Kmart es, yeah, Kmart como un Soriana tal vez.
Oh, really?
hmm
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
a
it's bigger.
discount department.
But they sell clothing as well and stuff like that. I think. Do they sell that at Kmart?
Yeah, it's like a department store kind of a discount.
I don't.
Wow, no.
Yeah, like I don't think I've ever been to a Kmart though. maybe
Oh, yeah.
once.
Okay.
Do they have Kmart's in Utah? I haven't even seen them.
Man, Kmart they went bankrupt, and I think they're still around at a much smaller scale, but they used to be.
They used to
It
be
was
big.
it's like a Target, like it's a department type of a discount store.
Is it kind of at the level of a Target, or is it more of a
I think
Walmart?
I think it's like Walmart. Yeah, like Walmart.
Wow.
Yeah, not okay. Yeah, Oxxo would be like a 7-Eleven
Yeah, exactly.
on gas stations. Uh-huh. But no, Kmart is more of
Kmart
a,
is
kind of like a Walmart, a
bigger.
Soriana, Mega Comercial,
Wow.
yeah, but a little bit bigger with like clothing and stuff.
Yeah,
But
but
not,
I don't think.
but then Sears, I think Sears stores are even a little bit more high end. Is that right,
Yeah.
Yes,
Nate?
here is a light store. I mean, no of the people go
Yeah,
to this
Sears in
store.
Mexico is like I guess higher end,
It's
kind
another
of like
level.
a
So
Liverpool
like,
kind of.
Fábrica de Francia.
Uh-huh.
Those kind
So
of fancy,
so
fancy
yeah,
stores.
when they mention 9 stores and Mexican stores, uh, I don't even know how. Like over here, they have specific Mexican stores or Latin stores where you walk in and they have everything that you would buy in the store in Mexico:
Hmm.
chips, drinks, sweet bread, tortillas, meats, stuff like
Very
that. So
cool,
all the Mexicans or other Latinos go there and
right?
cash their checks or go there and eat or buy the ingredients that they need to make their food. Like
Exactly.
it's easy. It's easier to find all that stuff in those kind of Mexican stores
Okay,
or Latin,
but in this case, we are
Hispanic
considering
stores.
Sears as a Kmart. I mean, it's in the same level over there.
Yeah, kind of in the same level, but
Wow.
even higher than Mexican stores. So the demographics in those kind of stores aren't the same as the ones that go into the Latin stores. But I think
Yes,
that was the big problem. I think they got excited.
with the
They got
first
excited about the
result.
deal because they were going to grow a lot and have a potential for a lot of stores, but they didn't stop to think about poor Hispanics who they were
Hmm.
targeting. Are they going to go to the store and feel
Exactly.
comfortable getting credit in a store like that? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
that that went wrong
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and also because the purpose of this kind of loan was for, um, I mean, it was not for all the people with a good credit record. They tried to create their own algorithm and their own clauses in order to get more people in. So I think that just in this point, it was quite risky because, I mean, you are not considering all the variables that are used for different financial institutions. So I think that that also represented an important risk for the company.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you guys. I think that they were focusing on sake of growth, and they weren't really taking a look at what the demographic and what the market was in those other locations, and it ended up hurting them. It was just kind of like not very good foresight.
Yeah,
And then further, even to make a deal with what was it where they were going to grow with the Sears deal, they were going to exponentially grow more. It was just their wrong target audience. Like that, they had a poor um, bookkeeping system, so they couldn't. It's like the guy didn't even have a good tab on what the numbers were well enough to know. Oh, this isn't going to make sense. We need to stay with trying to grow the grocery segment. That's where their customers were. That's where those people that needed those loans were. That's where they were, and there's going to be much fewer of those target customers in those department stores.
for sure. I think that another part to that is the kind of employees they hired at the beginning before they start making changes. They were just hiring people straight out of the grocery store, like without any training.
Hmm.
And even when they hired them, they didn't give them that much training. So you can't expect to double your sales with people that don't really know what they're doing or that haven't done it in the past. They were lacking some training and just overall, I think some organization and sure was at the beginning. They kind of just like, okay, we opened some stores and now let's just grow and higher and don't think about training and don't think about other stuff that could influence outcomes.
Yeah, and also their employees, the people that they were training, they just thought, oh, the way to solve this problem, the way to get the loan numbers up was just to offer like greater incentives, like that's going to pull in the customers. But
True.
I think it was kind of doomed to fail because they were in the wrong location.
They were, yeah, just because it was already doomed to failure, or it was going to be a lot harder. And it took them a while to figure that out. I don't know how did they didn't see that. They were expecting to do good, but it didn't. And then they didn't have the systems to measure results or to track the different sales process to see the conversion rates and stuff like that either. Like they kind of just opened the stores and were just kind of measuring how many deals they were closing, and that was about it. They weren't measuring how employees were actually performing.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was a great idea, and they had tapped into like a customer base there. It was a good idea, and there was a business there, but then they were just like executing poorly.
Yeah. So I guess some alternate points of view, or it kind of mentions it. I mean that deal sounded good, but if they would have seen that was not their target market, or people would probably not reach out to them in those kind of places, those kind of stores. They should have just looked to partner up with a. I'm not sure if there's like specific Latin chain stores. I know there's some in Vegas that are called Cardenas, but like a pretty well known one. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like specific for Latin stuff, Hispanic foods and stuff like that. I would think a Walmart would even be better than a Kmart or Sears.
Or here? Really? Wow.
Well, no, would be better for them to open branches or put some
Okay.
people,
Yeah. Yeah, for this kind
as alternatives.
of business.
Yeah, for that kind of business, it would. I think it would even be better if they would put them in certain Walmarts.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, actually, they are just announcing like just 2 months ago that you can now make, or well, here you can receive the money from US in all the Walmart chains as Aurrera, Suburbia, Walmart here in Mexico. So I think that was a great market for Walmart because here they have a lot of small stores called Bodega Aurrera, which are
Hmm.
like half of Walmart. Well, no, less like 1/4 of one Walmart, and they have the same, but you can receive and perform all these operations in the when you are paying or when you are buying something. Yeah, this kind of stores could be really attractive and well could be a good option for this for Progreso business.
Hmm.
The, the other question talks about the profit that Progreso earn on a new loan with the current number of loans per month at a grocery store location. How many new loans do they need per location to break even?
So they were selling. They were
So,
making. It was costing them $69 per loan, right?
yeah,
yeah,
It was costing them $69 per loan, and I think it mentioned
and
each
they have
location was costing them $2,000 a month without Well, I guess $69. I think that came out to pay the account executive, and then on top of that, it would cost him $2,000 per location. Do you guys know how many loans they were doing in a
Yes.
month?
And wasn't there? Well, I didn't do the calculation, the break-even calculation, but I think their target was like 100 loans. I'm gonna do the math real quick to see if that adds up.
I think so.
Yeah, I didn't do a calculation either. Let's see.
In Exhibit 1, they mentioned some loans, but I don't see the total.
Well, the first time they did the model, they did 30 loans in a month, right? And I think they were
Yeah.
calculating about 100 loans per month.
Well, how much do they make on each loan, though? If that's the expense,
I think they would. I don't have the papers here. Let me go get my case.
Because it is including also the compensation cost, right? The 69?
yeah, the 69 is kind of a variable figure because the more loans that those guys wrote, that would actually go down slightly. It would fall down to 63.
Let's see. So it would cost them $69 per loan.
They would make like 36% on it, I believe. And so I guess we just go with the average. That was like 900 and some odd dollars was the average.
Somewhere it's hot. Something about 10%. I don't know if it cost them 10%. So it said here, given the declining, each account was worth $180 to the company over the life of the loan.
Oh, okay. 100. Okay, so that's our magic.
The renewal application rate hovered around 65%. Loan losses were calculated as cumulative gross charge-offs and average less than 100 per 1,000 disbursed. It had losses of 10%. And the overhead for each retail location was about $2,000, not including labor costs. How many loans a month? What are they doing?
Um,
Is it asking just for the 9 stores? Was 2008 Progreso grocery locations were producing 60 loans. against expectations of 100 loans. And then the Kmart locations were producing just 29 loans with expectations of 60. Sears locations were even lower.
Yeah.
So 60 loans was 60 times 9.
Well, if they do 20 loans, their cost is 3,380, and their revenue is 3,600. So they're already cash positive if they just do 20 loans.
20?
Yeah, but maybe I'm doing this wrong because that's considering $180 per loan. But do we need to figure in the write-offs? That's what, 10% of that?
Yeah.
So then 180
So
actually.
for every 1,000, they would have $100 loss.
Okay. So that would be, instead of 180, that would be 10% less than
And their average loan was $900.
So really, okay, so if you discount that by 10%,
And they were
62 per loan.
what's that?
Instead of 180 in revenue per loan average, it's 10% lower, which would be 162. So let me calculate.
So are we taking into consideration the Kmart and Sears, or just the?
No, I wasn't figuring that. So was the $2,000 that still applied to Kmart and Sears, right?
Well, it says how much profit does Progreso earn on a new loan with the current number of loans per month at a grocery store level, at a grocery store location.
Okay, at a grocery store location, it looks like.
So I don't think that means. Does it take Kmart as a grocery store?
No.
And then it says how many new loans do they need per location. So they were doing 60 a month. 60 times 160, you said they were making?
162.
And then on top of that, they would pay them, what, 69?
Oh, they'd have to do that too, huh? Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so 162 minus the 10% of loss, perhaps? Or
No,
actually,
162 that's figuring in the minus 10%.
oh, okay.
So 162
Or should we do
minus 9.
the 180 times 60 and then take
Yeah.
10% of that or
Okay.
for each 1,000?
Okay.
And then take, what is it, $69 it would cost them? That they would pay the employee? 69.
Yeah.
Another 69 times 60.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a different picture. They have to do a lot of loans to break even.
180.
So, yeah.
Is this already taking into consideration the $2,000 it cost them per store?
$2,000, right?
2,000 per store.
180.
180.
You have to add that in too.
Oh, but they were doing 60 per store, right? There were nine stores. 9 grocery stores. That's 540 times 1. Okay.
Are we calculating the break even point per store or just the whole thing in general?
I think
Per store.
general. Do we need to take into consideration those $2,000 or not?
Oh, how many loans do they need per location to break even? So not taking into what they have done, let's just calculate basically how many loans do they need to make per location just to break even. So if we just do that for one store, we'll know, right? So it costs $2,000 per fixed cost. Then there's $69 like loan commission, so that's a variable cost. That's times however many loans. Then the loan itself, the revenue we get from that is 180, and then minus 10%. That's also variable per loan.
So, in your numbers, are they losing money or making some money?
So we need to find the exact number of loans to where it's neither making or losing, to where it's just breaking even.
Page 2 it says that they were losing. It says the cash burn rate at headquarters was already 1,050
150.
150,000 a month, and coming out of 2008 financial crisis, investors were growing impatient. So they were
Yeah,
already losing
well, they were.
because
That's what.
headquarters.
That's how much they were spending at like the headquarters. You could call for.
So
I'm
it was money
pretty sure
invested.
um, salaries and such. So I don't know if I'm right, but it came out to like $32,000 what they're making a month with all the stores. We have to calculate each store how much the break even is, right?
How many loans they need to break even?
Mm-hmm. And another question talks about the compensation number, if we must modify it or increasing or decreasing in order to this break-even point. Because the compensation was $20, I think.
Let me see. Their compensation started after they sold 14 to 20. They would get $18. 21 to 25, 20.
Okay. So they will need to start. Mm, it says none from 0 to 14. So they must change this. Start
Did you get it?
with this
Did you get any
commission.
numbers, Nate?
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how to do this algebra problem because it's basically 162 times x, which is the number of loans, should
Mm-hmm.
be equal to 2,000 plus 69, which is the number of commissions, times x, which is the number of loans. Those two things, when they equal each other, that's when we solve for x, then we'll know how many loans they need to make. That's the break-even point. I'm trying to remember how to do this.
Algebra?
Yeah.
I'm not good at that. Are you good at algebra, Miguel?
Sorry, guys. What?
Yes.
Are you good at algebra?
Algebra? I
Mm-hmm.
try to use Excel.
The other thing it mentions here, perhaps to take into consideration right now when we make a change on the compensation plan, it says that it costs Progreso $63 per loan instead of 69 when account executives reach or secure 10 loans. The ones that hit 10, their costs go down $6 per loan.
Okay, the figure that I get is 21 and a half loans.
21 and
If
a
they could be,
half?
yeah, loans per store, and that kind of makes sense because if you look at the exhibit, um, if you look at the exhibit of how many stores they had and how many loans they were making, none of them. Well, the grocery stores were going over 21, but the Sears and the Kmart, they never got even close to 21. So I think that's what the number is. But I think it's 21 and a half loans, and then they break even. So what were you just saying about the compensation? They're trying to get the agents, the account agents to hit like
Yeah,
15 to
well,
20.
perhaps that makes sense. Perhaps if they're 21, it mentioned somewhere that they had 2 agents per store. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
So if they were both
Or
to
for
per branch, if they were to hit 21 and a half, they would both be getting up above 10, which means the cost for Progresso would go down from 69 to 63,
yeah,
and the AEs would be making ready instead of having to hit another 5 before they get commission. So I wonder if that would motivate them. Yeah, you don't have to get 15, hit 10 each. Once you hit 10, you start getting
oh, yeah.
$18 extra per each one you get. Oh, my battery's gonna die. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or regarding compensation.
Yeah, this is kind of like we're working with numbers and the business plan that this guy that they kind of had all over the place. It wasn't really a clearly defined go-to-market plan.
Yeah, I don't think they really had it.
No, here we are struggling, trying to figure out, well, how do they do this? Like, no wonder they were just
Having a hard time.
bugged out.
So I guess we could go with that. We could change the compensation to start at 10 loans.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And once they hit 10, their cost goes down to 63, and AEs need to hit 21.5 per branch for them to break even. Cool. And that's not taking in, I guess, the cost. I think it would even better because they would go from 69 to 63. Takes 20 to get even, and once they hit those, the costs actually go down, so they actually break even right there, right?
Yeah.
Or they don't because they have to pay commission to the AE already. I don't know how that worked. How does that work?
I think that's a good idea because in the case some of the reps were just kind of giving up and just
Yeah, they're
said,
giving
"Oh,
up
your number."
because they were getting
what
like
you're proposing seems more realistic too.
yeah, they were giving up because they were like it's impossible to reach. So why even try? I'll just keep my
Minimum wage or
$8
whatever.
an hour. Yeah, and that sucks because they're not even trying even point or that point where the costs for Progreso will actually go down. So you need to motivate them to a way to at least get to 10 so their costs go down and they hit that goal of 20 per branch. And I guess once they hit 10, then they're making $18 per each one they close. So they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to go get another one and another one, you know? I think that makes a little bit more sense. Because it mentioned there was a morale problem.
Yeah.
So they got to kind of motivate them that they can hit it. Once they hit it, it's like, okay, I'm making money. I want to make more and more, so they try. So they actually try.
Sounds good to me.
All right. It says there, do not waste time trying to figure out.
Well, it says don't try to waste time trying to figure out a way to break even with lower number of loans. The board will not go for that. So it would be a waste of time to try to figure out, well, if we try to get a deal to get our lease cut in half, and then we can do it with cheaper.
Oh, okay.
No, the idea was, yeah.
So what does number 6? Once you have made your changes.
What changes or modifications we can make for advices in the managed activities and in the accounting executives that could help.
Would you manage activities or results? What
are they asking?
Well, I think they're asking more if they're just going to measure the results. How many loans are you closing?
Oh.
Or are you going to manage the activities? How many people you talk to a day, and of those, how many are applying? How many of those get accepted? How many of those actually pick up the check? And how many of those, pay and stuff like that? So daily activities.
Okay.
I think I would go for the activities because they were already just managing results, and it didn't really led them to know what was going on, what was wrong. So if you manage activities, then you can pinpoint where you're lacking effort, or where the ball gets stuck, so you can actually make
Yeah.
an improvement.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's like the conversion pipeline that's talked about right in the beginning of the case, right? Like how many people you talk to, how many people fill out an application, and it's like a big
Yeah,
funnel. And that makes way more sense to track the activity and to base your. You need that kind of feedback, right? Rather than just like, well, how many loans did you close this week? That doesn't really tell you.
yeah, it doesn't really give you a measurement of your effort. Like if you say, okay, you need to talk to 20 people a day, because they already know that if you talk to 20 people a day, you're going to get maybe one, right?
Yeah,
One to apply, so you get 30 to apply a month. And then from those 30, we know that 10 of them are going to actually get accepted and come pick up their loan. Kind of measurements, more specific measurements where they can measure, okay, if you do this specific activity and train them towards it, then they know that they're going to get a certain result.
yeah. Because you'll be
I
seeing,
think that would make more sense.
yeah. Because I think like if they do that kind of reporting, then management can look at, hey, look at this location, they are killing it, and then they could look at those conversion numbers. It's like, whoa, look, they talk to 500 people a day, and they're getting this many applications,
For
and
sure.
that'll drive the success in other places. It'll to help them to, it'll inform them on what to do in those other places.
Definitely. So then it asks, would you keep your current AEs? Do you expect them to stay with a new compensation plan? Or where would you find new ones if the current ones leave? What would you do? What would you do, Miguel? You fire them? Find new ones?
Well, I think that I'm thinking just in the different skills that this employee must have. At least uh, it must speak English because obviously he will need to talk with all these kind of customers in these stores. If for them this could result attractive.
I don't know. I think it would be easier just to keep them because they already went through some training with this new guy they put in there, right?
Right.
So they were wearing kind of uniforms and they were receiving training now. It wasn't just like, hey, you want to work? Come over. And and then they put this Uloa guy, a little bit more legit within the operations, and he had worked with the collections part and turned it around. It seems like he's pretty capable of turning the sales team around as well. So I would keep them and then start measuring those activities, and you have to hit a certain amount of activities a day, produce a certain amount of results. If not, I mean, you're not cut for it, and we find someone else. That way
Yeah,
you
hold
start. I think it mentioned it. Like they start weeding out the ones that don't perform as well, and you just make space for new people that perhaps have better qualities or want to work. So I would keep them, but put in to process that activity measurement, and then kind of measure their performance, and they need to produce results. If not, there's no point in having them there. Find someone else that will produce.
yeah, I agree.
That's what I think.
Yeah. But does this company really exist? I don't know. Or it still exists?
It
Still
does.
care of it? Really? Wow.
It's a real company, but I actually looked it up. It's not called um what's this called? Progreso Financiero.
Uh-huh.
It's called I think it's called Optum. No, it's called let me Google it. And it got pretty big, I think, or it's a lot bigger, so they did fine.
So they the they changed this kind of business model, right? They tried to
I don't know if they changed it. They
target.
changed the name. The name is
Oh,
Opportune.
just a minute. Ah, okay.
Opportune, yeah.
Here, this well, in the last years, more and more financial institutions has been giving credits, different difficult, well, in some um, difficult zones as Iztapalapa and these kind of districts or colonies which are very something like that. But they give credits to number of people. I mean, for example, you gather 10 people and they you name one responsible, and this financial institution gives you, I think that up to 100,000 pesos, and you distribute the money for a common cause, for example, to repair something in the colony or create a business for all the people, something like that. And it has resulted quite attractive for a lot of people that they have the possibility to get this kind of resources without investing a lot of money, and also with a good rate, or well, with a good bank rate, interest rate, in order to repay it. But this is something new, just like about 2 or 3 years, I think, that I have been hearing about it.
So I just looked it up, and it says Progreso Financiero, according to Forbes, is its number 49 for America's most promising companies.
Wow.
And
That's
it
great.
has a revenue of $120 million. It has 618 employees. Last year, it says provides affordable loans to the Hispanic communities in California, Texas, and Illinois. Owns in 130 locations total, and the average loan is 1,900. This will change its name to Opportune. So they made it.
Wow. Mhm.
Is that it?
I think so.
Are you ready for your Thursday night?
So
What is it?
Are you ready for this Thursday night?
Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I don't know. Have you celebrate something or something like that?
I took the week off from work, so I'm off this week on vacation.
Oh, that's
Oh,
nice,
wow.
man.
That's great.
I'm just taking off Thursday and Friday. I'm gonna go to Vegas with my in-laws. Actually, my family is there already.
Oh, wow.
I'm by
That's nice.
myself to do as much homework as I can a few days of the week, so I don't have to be doing homework.
So
We're gonna meet.
Yeah.
we're gonna be able to meet on Wednesday then. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah, that works
Okay.
for me.
Okay.
We have 2 cases, right?
Yeah.
2 cases, but I think after that it's just 1 case a week. I think it goes down.
Oh, good. I haven't
Yeah,
even
that stuff
looked
today.
far ahead. So
This week we have 2, and I think the rest of the semester is just 1 and 1. So it kind of. But anyways,
Okay,
all
great.
right.
Thanks.
see you Wednesday, guys.
All right. Yeah, I'll post this here in just a minute. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Thanks.
All right. See ya.